Why are we getting humming? Well, Kathy's here. How are you today? It actually got up to 45 degrees today. I was able to go out and switch the turn signal bulbs. The only problem is, evidently the rears are not CAN bus because they're still flashing at 200 miles an hour. So tomorrow I'll have to pull the taillights apart and check those bulbs. But the new ones look good. Oh, man, you talk about green. Hey, look who's here. Mr. I'm going to bull throw a discus and a shot put. Maybe to improve your game, Ron, you should throw the bowling ball like a shot put towards the pins. More strikes. I don't know of any rule where it says the ball has to actually touch the alley. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get started. Broadcasting live from 39-degree downtown Cleveland. It's station WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm your host, the Grumpy Old Man, and pooey. Our show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow, see you, bye, thank you. Now we got that out of the way. Well, get working on the bank statements. The sooner you get them, the quicker things will move. Didn't they give you a list of everything you would need so that basically once the process started, you go, Here's everything. It seems like every other day it's, oh, I need a bank statement. Oh, I need a credit card statement. Oh, I need a previous auto title. I remember when I bought my first house. The loan officer gave me a big list and said, don't call me until you have every item on this list. And then when I had every item on the list, I went, here you go. It seems like they're doing it piecemeal. Although I haven't applied for a home mortgage loan in a godzillion years, but I remember when I bought my first house, they gave me a big detailed list with check boxes. Okay, bank statement, check. Checking account statement, check. Check, 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 check. Well, like I say, I want to see a photograph standing in front of the house with a sold sign with the real estate agent handing you the key. And then we all want to see pictures of every room in the house. Backyard, front yard, garage, attic, basement, if you have a basement. I don't think they do basements out there. Like many areas of Florida, you can't dig a basement because of the water table. Or the sinkholes. God, I still remember that news article that guy got swallowed up in that sinkhole. They never did find him. Laying in bed, sleeping. Next thing you know is his bedroom is 400 feet down. Well, that's what we'll be waiting for. Did you say today you registered your car? Wasn't your car previously registered? Or did you go get your new, I don't know, do they do license plates or stickers or... I know some states they have a combination of a window sticker and a license plate sticker. Ohio, you get either one or two license plates. I always insist on two. And then for about 10 years after that, you get stickers. And I pissed the cops off because instead of putting one sticker over the other, I go around the license plate with them. You look at it, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then the police tell you, you're not allowed to do that. Oh, well, too late. I do it that way because basically, when it comes time to buy new license plates, I can display the plate and it shows how many years that plate was on the car and piss the police off. Who's visiting China? Wheel tax? What the hell is wheel tax? Never heard of wheel tax. Although every state is goofy when it comes to registration. I remember at one time, I had a friend that lived in St. Louis. And in Missouri, you paid by horsepower. And, oh, he was crying his eyes out because he moved from Ohio out to St. Louis, Missouri. And what was he driving at the time? I think he had a Plymouth Satellite with like a 440 cubic inch engine. And boy, his license fees were like $600. In Ohio, they were like 28. Are you in here already, Mr. Feed Me? The least you could do is shut the door. We are on the air. Hang on a minute. Comes booming in through the door. Oh. The new headphones. And what was amazing, there was no delay. I hit start, headphones didn't cut out. These are high end. And they're gold. They're AKG K240 Studio. .240 Studio, trimmed in gold. And they have larger, the earphones are larger, and they seal around your ears. The exact same headphones that are used in recording studios. So that basically, like, trying to think of somebody today, Taylor Swift. If she goes in to record a song, she's wearing a set of these. And oh, are they crystal clear? Wow, it's amazing. I actually had to turn the volume down Because as soon as I said something, my ears went, whoa! And they're comfy. Oh, man. You can hardly, basically, the way they fit around the ear, you can hardly feel them. Although they do weigh less than the previous ones. Yeah, good old UPS. My UPS man is great. He not only rings the doorbell, he knocks on the door to alert me that the package is in the milk chute. I ran out there. Whoa! Opened the box. Plugged them in. So the other ones are in the box, in the cabinet, to be used as spares. And free. That's the best part. Free. Yeah, I get from what my buddy was telling me, or my buddy's son, the one out there in Burbank, they got sent like a case of 24 of these to test. It's amazing the stuff that manufacturers send to his studio, and then they tell him, keep them, do what you want with them, throw them away. And out of the 24, he said they only used 13. These were brand new, sealed, still in the box. They don't want, the company don't want them back. He even said, hey, we haven't used all of them. And they were like, we already wrote them off. Don't worry about it. So he sent me a set. I keep asking him, you got any of those $3,000 or $4,000 microphones? No. Although he said they are testing some cordless, wireless, USB, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, something. So I told him, I said, well, if you got a set that you don't want, I guess they're like those clip-on. The only problem is I don't know how I would set those up with my system here. But it'd be nice to have. Boy, my frickin' ribs are sore from laughing. Oh, my God, that book. Absolutely unbelievable. Matter of fact, I've been jotting down more ideas for another book. I got like a page full on a legal pad. I'm like, because I am going to order a couple more. And they sent me a coupon. Well, they emailed me a coupon for 15% off my next book. Even though I got the introductory discount, they want more of my money, I guess. So that entices me even more to write a third book. The second one is supposed to be here tomorrow. It got delayed in shipping. Because when I got through writing the first book, I wrote a second book. At least that's what I'm going to tell my friends. Look, I wrote 2 books. No, you didn't. Now hold them up. See? Grumpy old man, grumpy old man. That's me. I got about halfway through it. And then I had to put it down. My eyes were starting to go bonkers. But reading it, it's amazing how they take an answer to one of those questions and they can form 2 or 3 chapters. Oh my God, Kathy, I thought you'd have been right on that first thing this morning. Bookbyanyone.com. I was waiting for you to tell me that you wrote 2 books. Salute. Ugh. It don't get any tastier, I'll tell you that. Then the doctor calls this morning. He bumped my appointment out to Thursday. I said, why? He said, because we're going to give the cranberry juice another couple of days. I said, I've been drinking this shit for almost a month. What do you mean you give it a couple more days? So now instead of tomorrow, instead of today, it's Thursday. And then tomorrow the Passat goes in for axle bolts, which will make me feel more comfortable having 6 instead of 3. But being nice and warm, well, I wouldn't say nice and warm, but being the temperature that was today, I checked all my fluids, oil dead on, power steering dead on, coolant dead on, brake fluid dead on, clutch fluid dead on. All I had to do was top off my windshield washer fluid. Did you bookbyanyone.com for that book? Because believe me, they'll write one. If you answer the questions the way an idiot would, they'll write one. Yeah, artificial intelligence is scary. It really is. To think by answering, I think it was 10 questions. I'm pretty sure it was 10, maybe 12. And I mean, a couple of them, I just gave some stupid off the wall. But when I read, like I said, I read halfway through the book. I was like, oh, this is unreal. Absolutely unreal. Hopefully I have enough light to read a couple of paragraphs. I'm going to be hopping all over. This is chapter 9. The Perfect Cranky Day. I need some more light. Hold on. Oh, no. That's better. Breakfast is for the weak. W-E-A-K, not E-E-K. Breakfast, the so-called most important meal of the day. Society tells us to eat it promptly after waking, as if our lives depend on it. I'm here to tell you the unvarnished truth. Breakfast is for the weak. Yes, the weak. Skipping those early morning calories is the secret gateway drug to unleashing your inner crankiness. A raw, unfiltered version of yourself that most people spend years training to suppress. Imagine waking up and immediately denying your body the comforting embrace of toast and eggs. It's like starting a duel with your own stomach, a battle that sets the tone for the day. That gnawing emptiness becomes your new best friend, a persistent little devil reminding you, hey, you forgot to feed me every few minutes. Rather than being a nuisance, this hunger transforms into the fuel of grumpiness, a fiery engine propelling you into peak crank mode. That's me. Because I deny myself breakfast. You open that door again, asshole. Jesus, you'd think I didn't feed that cat. Feed me, feed me, feed me. Back to normal. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to have a guest because now you will have to read paragraphs from your book. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. One day I'll be reading mine, then Ron can read his, then eventually Kathy can do hers. You know, Kathy, basically, I'll tell you, once I got out of grade school, I never ate breakfast again. I just can't. I can't sit down to breakfast. I really can't. I get lazy. You know, when I get up in the morning, I have my 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 cups of coffee, and then I'm good to go all day until dinner. I eat one meal a day. I don't snack. I basically survive on coffee. Probably why my fucking kidneys are all whacked out. I just can't, I'll get friends that'll say, hey, I'll pick you up for breakfast. Be ready at 8. Then I say to them, PM? No, AM. Nope, sorry. See, that's why it aggravates the shit out of me. My buddy and his wife. 3, 4 times a year, we will meet. Now, they both still get up at 5 a.m., which I think is ludicrous when you're retired. So, at noon, they're ready for lunch because they both eat breakfast too. They get up at 5. By 5:45, 6 o'clock, they've had breakfast. Then, she can't wait for Walmart to open so she can go grocery shopping. Well, I'm just barely opening my second eye, like around noon. I cannot. And we've been arguing this, I am not ready to eat at noon. As much as I, would love to sit down with them with a big corned beef sandwich, because it throws me off. It really does. It throws me off schedule. I just can't. I'm not a breakfast or a lunch person. I really am not. I tell all my friends, if, you want to take me out, dinner. But see, it seems like there's some retiree's code that says you eat dinner at 4 p.m. Grumpy eats dinner at 10 p.m. Kathy, if I ate 3 meals a day, I'd be like 400 pounds. Because I get sleepy. And my buddy and his wife, they eat lunch like 11:30, and then around 12:30 they take a nap. Oh, Jesus Christ, if I took a nap, I'd really be fucked up. I don't live life like a normal, although I don't call them normal senior citizens. When you are forced to get up that early to go to work, I've always looked at it from the point, once I don't have to work anymore, I don't have to get up that goddamn early. And when my buddy was working, He had to get up at 3 a.m. That's insanity. He'd get up at 3 a.m. His wife got up at 5. Then when he retired, he slept in for 2 hours. And the two of them get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the only thing we argue about. When they want to take me out for a meal, I am not going to arrive at that restaurant at 11:30. Because at 11:30 in the morning, I'm just on my 6th cup of coffee. For years and years and years, I had to get up, 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning. No way. I get up like around 8:30. By 8:30, my buddy's wife has already finished shopping at Walmart, Myers, and Mark's. Of course, she's the type of person that would irritate the shit out of me because she's like in the parking lot waiting for them to unlock the fucking door, I'll never forget when I was, and Kathy, you probably remember a dealership, Crossroads Lincoln Mercury. I was a body shop manager there for a while. Body shop managers do a round robin every so often, everybody jumps seats. So I had a very good customer. Oh, this guy was a pain in the ass, He'd get a scratch on his bumper, he'd be into, So he was the type, like my friends. He'd be up at 5 in the morning. If he needed to get an oil change, he would be parked outside the service door waiting. Now, the service department didn't open till 7:30. He would be there like at 7 o'clock. As soon as the service manager illuminated the service department, he was blowing his horn. Now, mind you, he's turning the lights on like at 7:15 to walk around, check and see what came in overnight, Service department didn't open till 7:30. If he turned the lights on, beep, 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 the guy'd get an oil change, take the car home, park it in the garage, and then go out for the rest of the day. What was so important? I mean, it got to be the point the service manager said, hey, tell your friend, don't come here anymore. Because he was such an asshole. I could see if you had a complete schedule for the rest of the day. He didn't do nothing. He'd get the oil change, car'd go in the garage. maybe it wouldn't leave that garage for 3, 4, 5 days. I don't understand people like that. I really don't. My buddy's wife gives me the excuse, well, there's no crowds, that early in the morning. I don't like crowds. How much of a crowd is at Walmart or Meijer's at like 8:30 or 9:30? Well, that's her. And she might pick up 3 or 4 items per store. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Ron, but you're fighting the heat out there. There's a difference. Early in the morning, the temperatures are maybe like around 60. I wouldn't go shopping at noon when the temperature's 112 degrees either. There's a difference between convenience and being a pain in the ass. Yeah, and they have a set schedule. They don't deviate either. They eat breakfast at 6 a.m., lunch at 11:30, and dinner at 4. Then they watch a little TV, and at 8 o'clock, they're in bed. I almost fell off the chair the first time she told me. I asked her, I said, did you watch a certain show? What time was it on? At 9 o'clock. Oh, God, we're in bed at 8. I said, what? We're in bed at 8. No TV in the bedroom either. Don't believe in it. Me, I got a 55-inch in the bedroom. Oh, yeah, that's the way they are, Kathy. Because she told me, oh, we stayed up an extra half hour to watch some more of the Super Bowl commercials, but at 8:30, she said my eyelids were drooping. I said 8:30, I'm in the middle, almost through my broadcast. Then I make dinner. Then after dinner, I go to bed. And she's telling me, oh my God, I would gain so much weight. Believe it or not, now some of it was probably due to the infection. I lost 5 pounds. Then when I told the nurse, boy, I'd like to lose about 15 more, she was like, what? You know, Oreo goes, they've been going goofy. You know, leave the cookies alone. You know, like, Valentine's Day, the cookies are pink. St. Patrick's Day, the cookies are green. And then, they got to experiment with different flavors. Leave them alone. I haven't eaten Oreos in 3, 4 years. I used to love Oreos, and then I made the mistake of buying a pack of the double stuff. Oh my God, they were so sickening sweet. I didn't even finish them. I think I gave them to my kid. Not to mention, when I eat Oreos, even at my age, I have to dunk them. I love dunking Oreos in milk. I've never tried them. I've seen them in the store. I've never tried them. Are they that tasty? Maybe I'll put them on my list. Who makes them? Are they in the Nabisco cookie? God, it's amazing to walk through the cookie aisle. Jesus. I remember, growing up, you had like 4 choices of cookies. Now you have a 40-foot aisle of every cookie under the sun. You got chocolate chips, you got chocolate chunk, you got cookie with M&Ms. You have like 400 different versions of chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chips with pecans and chocolate chips with avocado, Keebler. I'll look for them. Matter of fact, I'll have to hit the grocery store like Friday after my CT scan. I'll look for them. Keebler, huh? Vienna vanilla cream cookies. I'll give them a try. They sound good. But you know what my go-to cookie is? Shortbread. I love shortbread cookies. That's my go-to. If I get a taste for cookies, it's shortbread. Vienna fingers. Okay. I'll look for them. There's another, what the hell they call pecan sandies. I think they're called pecan sandies. Those two. Shortbread and pecan sandies. Most chocolate chip cookies are overpowering sweet. So, they've ruined it for. And then, when I bought that double stuffed Oreos, I gagged, so I'm off the Oreos. Well, go to the kitchen and make something to eat, Ron. Fire up the old microwave. Ding. My grandmother used to make them. As a matter of fact, she made shortbread cookies too. Every now and then she'd trade off and go, "Oh, I got a surprise for you. I made pecan sandies. Yummy." So those now are my go-to. If I have a taste for cookies, it's either shortbread or the pecan sandies. I'll tell you what. When I was in high school, I had a thing for ginger snaps. And why I got away from them, I don't know. But I loved ginger snaps. As a matter of fact, I'll never forget the day I pissed off a squirrel. There was a squirrel sitting up in the tree, and I was eating some ginger snaps. So I whipped a cookie out in the backyard. And I watched him come down the tree, grab the cookie, run back up. Well, evidently them ginger snaps were too strong for him, because he'd take a bite and he would chatter like hell, and then take another bite and chatter like hell, like yelling at me like, "You asshole, what'd you give me here?" He wouldn't put the cookie down. But every time he took a bite, whoa! Holy shit! Hang on a minute. All of a sudden I got a microphone collapse. I'm getting a buzz hum in my ear. Why am I getting a buzz hum? Something going haywire here. I don't know why that mic collapsed all of a sudden. It just, I thought the mount was tight, and then all of a sudden I'm watching the mic go. But now I'm getting a buzz hum for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it went away. I'll tell you what, that squirrel chattered at me. Oh my God. He would take a little nibble and then chatter like hell. But he would not get rid of the cookie. He would not get rid of that cookie. Because usually I would toss him a piece of bread or something, Just so happened that day I was eating ginger snaps and I threw him a cookie. Oh man. He'd take a little nibble and chatter at me. It was hilarious. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh's ghost attacking me between the golden mic and the golden headphones. I thought that mount was, when I put the mount on the desk, I even tightened it with pliers. I don't know how it worked loose, but boy, all of a sudden everything just went haywire here. Although I should, it's a cheapy mount. I've got a real expensive one. It's a universal, and it's got a big clamp for the desk. It's got a foot that's got to be like 3 by 3, and a real tight clamp. And then since the posts for the arms are different sizes, it's got a bolt on the side where you squeeze it in and you close up. And I was using that one for the longest time. I don't know why I took it off. But boy, that mic decided it was going to leave real fast. Yeah, Kathy, try it sometime. If you got squirrels around, throw some ginger snaps out. They will cuss you out. Oh, that had to be neat. Squirrel Coffe, almost as bad as Fatso. Feed me. That would have been neat to film. Have that squirrel come down, tap on the window. Hey, feed me. Feed me. That's like, Marianne, she feeds the birds. She feeds the birds out front. And then she feeds the squirrels in the backyard. And it's hilarious because she usually comes out maybe 10 o'clock. And you look around, and there'll be 8 or 10 squirrels. They'll be up on the roof of the garage. They'll be in the tree. They'll be on the fence waiting. They know, all right, she's going to be here any minute now. It's funny. Although, I'll tell you what. We got invaded by Canadian black squirrels several years ago. And Canadian black squirrels are about half the size of a brown squirrel. Well, now you rarely see a full-size brown squirrel. All the squirrels now look like babies. And rarely do you see a brown squirrel. And I would say 8 years ago, you rarely saw a black squirrel. But they invaded from Canada. Are you in here again? Pain in the ass. Oh, geez, now I'm setting the place on fire. Damn you, Boots. I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to have to get a hook for that door. Geez, you think I didn't feed that cat? It's only 8 o'clock. Somehow his belly alarm got discombobulated. Like he's wasting away to nothing. He's a belly with legs. Walks through the house. Takes a step, belly goes one way, then it goes the other way, back and forth. Driving me crazy at night. I'm going to have to get a latch for the studio door now. Although, if, like, when I go in and I strip the bed, I make sure that it latches. Because he'll jump up on the bed, and it's a pain in the ass to try to, put sheets on, so I'll latch the door. He'll stand outside that door, run up with his feet. Let me in, let me in, let me in. Well, yeah, that could be part of it. Because in the summer, when the windows are open, he loves to watch the birds and the squirrels, and he goes from window to window to window. Well, now with the windows being closed, he sits on the kitchen table but he likes to sit in the window and listen to the birds and the squirrels, So, yeah, he's bored stiff. But you would think that he never eats. Oh, man. I think my doctor just loves torturing me. Drink cranberry juice until further notice. Then, finally my test results will come back all clear. Can I get off the cranberry juice? No. One day I'll get in front of the mic and I'll be reddish purple like a cranberry. Yummy. Boy, I like these. They are comfortable. It's amazing how comfortable they are. even though they're, clamped around my ear, there's like no weight to them. I could see why they're the preferred headphone of music stars and recording studios. Yeah, he told me every one of his studios has got. And then what he does, if like he was doing some pre-recording of soundtracks for some Super Bowl commercial. I don't know if it got used, but once a headphone gets used by someone, they go out and they get medically sanitized so that they can keep using them. Yeah, he told me some company that does sanitization for hospital items. As soon as somebody is done, they get wrapped up, sent out, sanitized, sealed in a plastic bag, and returned. But these are brand new, right out of the box. I don't have to worry about sanitizing them because I'm the only one wearing them. But they are comfy. And they're gold. I love the gold trim. Even the plug is gold plated. That plugs into the converter here. I was like, wow, look at this. Hey. Although I should use, I've got a really sturdy microphone mount. I should use that instead of this flimsy ass thing that I'm using. Although I'm going to redo this console come spring. Because I have to figure out how to mount the other monitor. I'm trying to find a mount for a single monitor, but they only make them like 36 inches high. And in order to get over this monitor, it's got to be 42, 44 inches. Because I want to take the 30-inch curved monitor and put it above this one. Because that way I could keep my AOL running up there. And if I want to open an email or something, or gargle something, I could have it up there. I could use a wall mount, but I don't want to drill no holes. So I'm working on trying to find a single monitor arm that goes up to like 48 inches. And then today, Mr. Band-Aid. it sucks to get old because your skin gets really thin. And I just brushed when I was remounting the turn signal, I just kind of brushed my hand against the air cleaner. And boy, it cut me. And then being, taking a baby aspirin every day, it bleed like a stuck pig. If you look at the snow next to the Passat, it looks like somebody got killed there. Tomorrow morning, I'll look out the window and there'll be a forensic team out there taking pictures, DNA swabs. They'll be like, who got killed in your driveway? Me. I didn't even notice it. I happened to look down over the edge of the fender and I was like, where the hell's all that blood coming from? And I looked at my hand and went, holy shit. It was like pumping out. I would have to say, Kathy, it started sometime in my early 60s. I noticed that, I was getting real delicate. God, back in the day, I could run my hand over a bunch of razor blades and nothing had happened. Now I get a little dink. You see, I just reached down there's a spring hook to put tension to hold the parking lamp in. And I twisted my hand, and there's a little bit of a sharp edge on the top of the air cleaner. And I just brushed against it. I didn't think anything of it. And I'm making sure the parking lamp is adjusted right, And I look over the fender, and I'm like, where the hell all that blood come from? And then I looked, I was like, oh, it's coming from me. Grab a paper towel out of the back seat. Every time I take the paper towel off, blood would be gushing out of my hand. Finally got in the house and put a Band-Aid on it, and it stopped. But it's a pain in the ass. Because you just bump something and you're bleeding all over. Like I say, if you'd have looked in the snow next to the Passat, you'd have thought somebody got shot. I was like, God damn. Somebody get killed in my driveway? Then I look at my hand and went, oh, it's from me. And I wasn't done. I had to change the other parking lamp on the other side. So basically it was dab the blood, quick, do something, dab the blood, quick, do something else. Because I wanted to put them new replacement HID bulbs in. The ones they, sent me to replace the ones that were supposed to be, what the hell did they call that green? Oh, I can't remember what they... monster green. The bulbs were supposed to be monster green. I put them in, turned them on, and they're teal. I was like, what the hell is this shit? So they sent me, matter of fact, when they told me they were sending me replacement bulbs, I said they better be monster green. He said, we've tested them. They're monster green. So I wanted to swap them out today, and I was like, yeah, I'll have to do it the next time we get temperatures in the almost 50s. Although it will be easier swapping bulbs if I take the headlight assembly out. Because reaching in to loosen the retainer clips is a pain in the ass. So there's only 3 bolts that hold the headlight assembly in. I'll just slide it out, and that way I have all kinds of working room. Because I'm changing all the bulbs in the headlights. Because I got a new set of high beams too that are monster green too. And those are from a different company. And I tested them. I fired up my old Heath kit 12 AC to DC converter, 2 alligator clips. Holy shit. That bulb bright. Because I'd asked my dermatologist, I said, what the hell's going on here? She said, you're getting old. I says, I know that. What's going on here? You're getting old. Your skin loses its elasticity. That's how she put it. Your skin loses its elasticity. Yeah, and? All right, I'll put it in layman's terms. It's getting thinner. Oh, okay. Thank you. I said, how do I thicken it? She says, go get young again. Oh, gee, thank you. Bitch. I have to be nice to her. She really didn't want to renew the steroid cream that I use for the goofy acne on my face or eczema or whatever the fuck it is. I wouldn't have prescribed that. I said, yeah, well, the last dermatologist did. Well, I wouldn't have prescribed it. I said, I don't want to experiment with anything new. This shit works. Okay, here. Thank you, bitch. I didn't say that. I thought it. Oh, yeah, she gave me a hard time. Not something I would have prescribed. Well, maybe you and my last dermatologist should put your heads together and figure something out. Well, I would have used this, I said, I'm not experimenting. This shit works. Because, they give you a new medication, you try it, it don't work. Then you throw it away. In the meantime, you spent like $50. Then they give you another one. That don't work. You throw that one away. No. This one works. I wouldn't have prescribed that. Okay, you said that 47 times. Give me the prescription. Give me the refill, God damn it. Oh, okay. Here. Then we fight back and forth. Let go of it. Although, doctors don't do that no more. Everything is electronic. I don't think a doctor has a prescription pad in their desk anymore. I haven't had a handwritten prescription in probably 15 years. Everything's all electronic. And then when it comes time for renewal, you get a warning about 2.5 weeks before it's time to renew. You have a prescription due for refill. Hey, it's the 15th of the month. I don't refill it till the 3rd of the next month. What are you sending me it now for? Then if you click on refill, you get an email back that tells you it's too early to... Now, what'd you send me the damn thing for? That's almost as bad as when I check in for an appointment. And I'm sitting in the waiting area, and I get a text message that says, "You are now at your appointment." No, I'm in the waiting area. When they call me in, I'm at my appointment. Delete. That's like the other day. I'm backing into the parking space. Now, I'm 20 minutes early. I back in. I go to get out of the car. Text message. Are you at the registration desk for your appointment? Oh. I haven't got out of the car yet. I'm 20 minutes early. Give me a break. Then you no sooner register, and you go to walk away, and you get a text message. You have now signed in for your appointment. I know, I was just at the registration desk. And you can't get rid of the shit. I called my chart one day. I said, how do I opt out of these text messages? You can't. I said, then quit sending all the stupid messages. Oh, I'm getting a hum again. There, it went away. I might have to stop using the golden microphone. This converter's driving me crazy. I wish I could find a golden microphone that's USB. I'll have to look. See if I can find one of these cheapy microphones in USB. They gotta make them. God, everything's USB nowadays. More fun. More expense. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can find one of these in a straight USB. Because now that I have the golden headset, I need the golden microphone. Although Blue Yeti does make a golden. Nah, I don't need to spend the money for a Blue Yeti. Ugh. Oh my God, he's in here again. I'm going to have to feed the starving beast over here before he drops from lack of food. Jeez. 22 pounds. You think he never ate. All right, people. I have to feed the starving beast before he rips my leg off. We know where, right here, WDWL TV, home of not one, but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night, right here. And with that, there will be the obligatory 2 see-yas. See ya number 1. And see you number 2.